Hey guys, welcome back to episode 205 of 5 Drinks Through Midnight, the show where we bring the questions, guests bring the drinks, we try to wrap up before midnight. Today we are headed into Williamsburg to meet up with Andy Locke, owner of Foolproof. But before we do, like and subscribe, hit the bells, the whistles, leave a comment if you like what we're doing. Really help us out in the algorithm. Let's get started. Midnight, 5 drinks, 5 questions, midnight, whatever comes first. Thank you so much for having us at Foolproof. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. Very excited to be on with you.
We were very excited. We had that set up phone call, and I knew right off the bat we were going to be like this. So I'm super excited. I guess jumping right into it. Question one, what are we drinking first?
A good place to start. We're going to start with one of my favorite drinks that we have here. We do a barrel-aged Manhattan. I try to rotate it seasonally a little bit. We've been having this one on since the beginning of December. Barrel aged for about a month. It's our black Manhattan, using Rebel 100 proof rye as the base. A little Saint Agrestis Amaro in there. We like to use as many local products as we can. And then some Picon Vasco, like a vermouth but a little bit more bitter. Really kind of rounds out the flavor without needing to add extra bitters on the back end. So I like it. I'm excited to see what you think.
Awesome. Cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's a great way to drink that. Yeah. God damn. Oh, that is so good. Oh, what was the vermouth substitute again?
Picon Vasco. It's a Spanish, it's a Grenache-based Spanish, just like a little bit harder on the wormwood. So
all right.
Honestly, if I'm lazy, if I'm off the clock at home, I like just crack and open a bottle of that, and I'll make a cocktail, and I'll just pour it over. That does the trick.
Question one. This is a good sipper. Yeah. Question one. How'd you get started in the hospitality business?
Going back to when I was a kid, I guess it theoretically started more in the back of house. I grew up watching a lot of Food Network with my mom. Got really into cooking at home.
Okay.
Really got into that, and I always thought, I'm going to open up a restaurant, open up something or other. Typical, mom and dad, go to college, get a 4-year degree, we'll figure it out from there. And, the whole time in high school and college, I got summer jobs working in kitchens. Granted, it was like Panera Bread and melting pot. We're not talking Michelin star there. But I always loved that. After college, I got a really great job at a software company that I was terrible at.
Okay.
So I kind of pivoted out of that back to the service industry, but on the front of house side, figure I might as well learn that if I want to open up my own spot one day. Got into serving first, started working in fine dining, realized I knew nothing about wine, started panic studying that, got my level 1, level 2 SOM certification, and then realized I didn't know as much on the spirit side as possible, so started leaning more into that, and then eventually just realized, I guess I know a little bit of everything, might as well give this a whirl.
Excellent. And you said Foolproof is now, open 6 months?
6 months today.
Oh, wow, congratulations. Cheers. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, again, you're deep in the heart of Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about what Foolproof is and what it's all about?
Yeah, so again, going back to coming up in the industry when I was living in the Midwest, Madison, Wisconsin, great town to learn about drinking a lot.
Yep.
Worked at a really, really great whiskey bar there called Casking Out. Really awesome list. I think these days they probably have 800 or 900 different whiskeys on the back bar. And that's where I really kind of started getting into it. And once I moved back east, started working in fine dining. Used to work for a major food group in the city. A lot of their concept, a lot of fine dining in general is a little bit more polished, a little bit stuffier than what I like to do personally.
Sure.
I find myself really needing to turn it on for that type of concept. Here, I knew I wanted to do something a little bit more casual, a little bit more approachable. I knew I wanted to do something whiskey focused because I'm an equal opportunity drinker, but that's definitely my go-to. I looked at other whiskey bars in the city. I looked at other types of bars. I realized, there's a ton of wine bars now. That's a lot easier to do. There's it's a very popular concept. You can go a lot of different ways with that. You can go tiki bar, cocktail bar, this or that. There's really not a lot of whiskey bars, and in the city especially, a lot of the ones that are around are a little bit, like I said, with my fine dining, a little bit more polished, a little bit, from my perspective, a statement of opinion, not fact, a little bit stuffier than what I would like to do.
Sure.
There's a few that have dress codes, minimum age, like requirements, and like, man, I'm just trying to like go in and get a nice buzz. So I wanted to do something a little bit more approachable. I wanted to be whiskey focused, but at the end of the day, I know that not everybody likes it. My brother, who is one of my biggest supporters and advocates, you know, everyone has the experience in college. For me, it's tequila.
Okay.
I'm getting on the horse now. He cannot look at a bottle of whiskey.
All right.
So I wanted to make sure that I had something for everyone here. So we have, you know, great cocktails, good wine, good like rum, agave, amaro. Really wanted to make sure I had a little something for everyone, but definitely wanted to make sure we had one of the more interesting whiskey lists in the city as well. And I think that, you know, it's never going to be complete, but I think we're off to a good start with what I got so far.
Yeah, no, this for 6 months. Like, this is fucking like awesome, and there's some bangers up there. Like that is just absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I was very pleased with some of the bottles that some of the distributors right away were just like, oh yeah, why don't you take 2 of these, 3 of those? I got like my Springbank allocation, my Chi-Chi booze.
Yeah.
Got some of the rare character stuff.
Very
like,
nice.
I'm very happy with what some of the stuff. We got
Yeah, no, this is fucking gorgeous. Like just I love it. Like just the way that the wood, the light, everything. It just, they're just all so pretty.
Yeah,
so pretty.
That's I am not a designer. I knew roughly what I wanted the place to look like, but my one input that I knew what I wanted to do, and again, this is based off of the bar I worked at in Wisconsin. I just wanted to have like a library of booze, especially with you know, the exterior walls here on 2 sides are all windows. At night when it's dark out, the back bar is lit up. I mean, you can see the back bar,
Right.
a block that way, 2 blocks that way. It's beautiful.
Nice little home in Beacon.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's right.
What brought you to Wisconsin? Because being that you're from the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
You grew up in the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm very happy I ended up out there. I had no real specific reason to. A few of my friends in college when we were in Boston were looking at jobs. They were looking at grad school or jobs. I planned on being a lawyer, but I wasn't super jazzed about it. I actually took the LSAT, and I did like good enough, but not as good as my friends who were like, yeah, we're all going to like Columbia or Harvard, or you might as well, like, if you're not doing that, why are you even bothering?
Right.
So I knew I was going to take some time off. A few of my friends were applying for a medical software company based outside Madison in Wisconsin, and nobody was getting jobs there. Like, you know, it's like one of those companies, you get a million applicants,
Sure.
you get like 10 jobs. And my brother was in grad school in Madison at the time for getting his math doctorate. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool to go out there. I'd never been there before, but he seems to like it. So I applied. Somehow they ended up accepting me for a job, which again, I was woefully underqualified for and didn't particularly love, but I was very happy that I got out there. It was, you know, good. I thought it'd be a good resume builder for whenever I go back to law school or whatever. Went out there, had an awesome time in Madison. Got into the food and beverage scene, small city, but really, really, really great bars, really awesome restaurants. So really good to immerse myself in that before I decided even to get back into the industry. So first couple of years I was out there, I was, you know, had the grown-up job and dealing with like the grown-up stress of hating the grown-up jobs. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna blow off some steam on the weekends, go out and check out this bar, that restaurant. And that really like got me back into it.
Nice.
And I loved it. I think I was out there for 8 years.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome. Again, we talk about like what hospitality means to people, and how does hospitality what does hospitality mean to like a whiskey bar? Like, because it's more than just even great service or anything. It's the knowledge and everything. So like, what to you? Like, what does hospitality mean to you as a whiskey bar?
Yeah, for me, hospitality, it's kind of an evolving thing. It's a little bit case by case. You want to adapt to whatever the situation is. It's not rocket science. I'm not trying to build it up to more than it is.
Sure.
But, you know, I like to make sure that the staff and myself were able to know everything that anybody would ask about anything we have up here, make sure that we're able to cater to what a guest likes. I want to have the fine dining quality level of service without the fine dining atmosphere, so it's not going to be like one-on-one service where you drop your fork on the floor, and there's like 3 servers sprinting over. One of them picks it up, one of them has to do before it comes and rushes off your lap like in 2 seconds flat. But it's about making sure that everyone is getting exactly what they want. Everyone's getting a level of service what they want. I feel like a lot of that has kind of fallen off a little bit since COVID. And a lot of that goes back to like staffing issues. I remember how hard it was both ways to either find a job or to find people looking for jobs during the beginning of COVID and I mean for the last few years. And I think you just needed to get bodies in the door, and it was people with less experience or people just, wasn't as ideal a working conditions, so people weren't set up to succeed as well as with service, or people didn't know well enough. And really, like, I would go out, and like I hate that I kind of focus on this when I go out as a guest, but like, oh man, like my glass has been empty for 5 minutes, nobody's come over to check on me. Hey, I might want to order something else, or like, hey, there's the dirty plates here. It's like really just the basics. Make sure that the guest is being tended to, making sure that they don't need anything, they have everything they need. If they like have any dirty stuff, just get it out of the way. Ask if they want something else to replace anything that they have off the table. Really simple, but it really goes a long way when it's done well. And you don't really need to like put a spotlight on it. If it's done well, people won't notice it, but they'll leave and they'll think that they had a great time, and that's what I'm looking for.
Awesome. Well, there we go. Question 1, super easy. Train's leaving the station, so cheers.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Question 2, drink. What are we drinking?
Alright, so I knew we have to drink some whiskey.
Alright.
Didn't want to go all straight whiskeys, although we can definitely have some follow-up questions if needed.
Yeah.
I initially thought I would be able to stump you with some of the whiskeys. I really don't think that's the case. So I thought I'd at least pick out some fun stuff.
Awesome.
This is one of my favorites on the Japanese list. It's one of the more popular ones that we have here, again, because I really like it. Fukano does some really, really awesome distilling. Been around for over 200 years now. You don't see it a lot, and it's not because it's allocated, it's just a small company, it doesn't get as much shine. It's unique in Japanese whiskeys in that, 7 or 8 years ago they adopted Scotch law, so it has to be single malt to be called Japanese whiskey. This is like legalese, minutia bullshit, but if you look at the bottle, it doesn't say Japanese whiskey, it says distilled in Japan instead.
Okay.
100% rice, so technically not Japanese whiskey, just happens to be whiskey that is also incidentally made in Japan.
Interesting.
And for me, I'm still looking for a better analogy, but for me, it kind of drinks like your rice lager, where it's lighter, you get some just fresher floral notes that with heavier maltier grains, it kind of gets buried underneath it, but this is light and heathery and honey and light fruit. This is the whiskey that you sit down at the end of the day and, I accidentally just drank half the bottle.
Nice. All right, I'm down. Cheers.
Cheers, dude.
Oh. And again, I've never had this, so
nice.
I'm excited for that. That is.
Doesn't suck.
It does not. Oh, that is nice.
That's a fun one. I actually have 4 bottles from them. They have a small batch, single barrel, and the sherry cask for those Scotch drinkers that are trying to branch out. But this is the most unique, and this is definitely the most my speed.
Oh, this is.
Be the last pour that I have today.
The honey notes on that is just that's fucking delicious.
And but by the end of this question, it's going to open up even more. This is one of my go-tos these days.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. That is. Love that. That is fucking delicious. Thank you.
Nice.
That is. I love this drinking stuff from people. So this is amazing. But all right. So question 2: was there a pour or a moment that you had that you were like, fuck yeah, I'm doing the right thing kind of thing, where your aha moment to being I'm gonna go open a bar kind of.
Yeah, and I guess, there's, over the course of my career, there's been a few pours that have pushed me on, and then again, I got started in Wisconsin, there's not quite the same supply of everything out there as there is here. My first one was with wine. It was my buddy inherited a bottle of 1985 Dom from his stepdad, and he got a few other really nice old bottles, opened them up, and they were all cooked or kept or whatever. So he was like, yeah, I was going to save this one for something special. So, but it's probably bad, so I'll just pour it out for you assholes. We'll try that out, and it ended up being in perfect condition.
Oh, nice.
I think it was the first Dom, and I mean, not that I've had a million of them since, that I'd ever tried. It was like, oh man, this is awesome. This is this is the potential of wine that there is. And it's like, okay, so at that point, lean more into the wine side of things. And I eventually started working at the whiskey bar in Madison. And for me, that pour was, we had our own single barrel of the Weller 107, the red label.
Yeah.
And man, we were drinking it like it was water. We would have safety meetings every hour on the hour, just ripping shots of the 107. And everything Weller is good, and we didn't have any bad whiskeys there. We were just drinking that, and I was like, wow, that's just next level stuff. And I just wanted to okay, if this is this, there has to be some other cool shit that I don't know about, that it's out there. I just need to track it down.
Love it.
I'm still trying to do that, trying to find that next high, that next oh shit bottle,
Excellent. Well, speaking of bottles, so if there were only 5 bottles that you could have at this bar, what would those 5 bottles be?
Ooh, that's again. This isn't the first. It's probably not the last time I'm going to say I'm an equal opportunity drinker, so that one's going to be tough. For me, it's definitely going to be the Weller 107.
Okay.
I need to have some sort of rye in there. I'm going to go eat. The romance is taken out of it with the price point these days, but that might still be the Midwinter Night's Dram from the West.
All right.
I probably have to, I have this one's cheating because it's kind of off menu. My wife's uncle gifted us consigned a few bottles to the bar of a single barrel that he picked out from Bruichladdich.
Oh.
12-year cast strength, finished in Reefso barrels, unpeated, which is interesting.
Nice.
That one is super special, super unique. I would definitely pick that as my go-to scotch. Honestly, I would pick this one. And then, just for shits and giggles, you know what? I've been having a good time with some of the dark arts whiskeys that we've gotten in so far. I might give that one to the Sherry Garcia, they call it.
All right.
Oloroso cask finish bourbon.
Very nice. Okay. Down with that. Those are all great fucking drinkers.
I hope that is an acceptable
No,
list.
it works. But again, it doesn't matter what the fuck I think. It's what you think. So that's all that matters. Is there, do you have a favorite? Is there a bottle that you just never get tired of pouring?
I'm trying to think. For me, that would probably be. I try not to get too high on my own supply while I'm in work, so I'm trying to think about when I'm drinking at home. For there, it's one that it's the old school before they changed the bottling, the Black Maple Hill.
Okay.
The rye, that one I only have a little bit left, but that one
nice.
I could drink until it's gone. Even the newer releases of it, they're not bad. They're slightly different, but I could put that one down all day.
Are you a big rye guy? I mean, is that?
It's weird, man. I feel like I drink more bourbon than rye, but rye, it's more finicky. It's easier to fuck up rye. It's easier to make shitty rye.
Right.
So I really enjoy my ryes. Anything High West is really good. Peerless is one of my favorites. I've been lucky enough to get into some deeper cuts, some weird stuff too. Even what is it, the OYO from Middle West.
Yeah.
It's really well made. I think it just has a little bit more depth of flavor, depth of character than your average comparable bourbon.
Yeah. And then just our last follow-up question. Do you think that, again, as being somebody that focuses more on a spirit in a bar, do you think your job is more about education and teaching people, or is it unteaching people, or undoing bad habits for bad whiskey drinkers?
Honestly, it's both, but I look at both of them the same way. It's all education. So again, it goes back to my background as a som. that's all about learning and knowing and teaching. And for me, and this goes back to like kind of hospitality and quality of service, I want to be able to teach things to people, but I want it to be approachable. I don't want to be lecturing people.
Right.
Again, like people are coming in here to have a drink, to have a good time. They're not trying to like sit down and learn about the rock, the soil types in Kentucky that allow for that. Like, it's interesting if somebody's into it, I'll shoot the shit, but like, yeah, I just want to be able to tell people what they want to know about the whiskey. For most people, that's what does it taste like? What will I like about it? We also try to do like pairings here with our menu, and we do like special event like tastings. So that's the fun part for me, and I've been doing that with wine too. Again, just for a lot of my career, just hey, you know, a lot of people like, yeah, whiskey and chocolate's really good. With like a whiskey like this, that's a no-brainer. But you know, I bet you didn't know that some lager scotches go really well with oysters, or like, you know, this with citrus, and this, like, it's a lot of, I enjoy doing that type of education. And then as far as the other side of it, with, you know, correcting, I mean, it's not a motto, I'm not gonna pretend like I like quote this every day. Like, there's no wrong way to do it. Like, as long as you get it in the right hole, like, it's all good. People ask me like, oh, like, I want to drink whiskey, but like, is it okay if I get it on the rocks? Is it okay if I put water in? It's like, dude, like, you're drinking it. Like, drink it how you want to drink it. Like, as long as your credit card clears, like,
yeah, you don't care.
Really good. Like,
You pay for it. Yeah.
Like it. Yeah. And then like some people do want to know why it's okay. And I will say, like, you know, for if they want it on the rocks, we always do it on a big cube because it's less surface space, so it dilutes. It chills without diluting too much. And like, yeah, you know, if you let it sit too long, the flavor gets a little bit muted, but it also softens that alcoholic burn. So if that's what you enjoy, cool.
Not only do you guys, you know, we talk about educating the guests, everything like that, but you guys actually do some really cool events here. Like right before the holidays, you did like a mezcal and cheese event, and everything. Can you talk a little bit about just that education process and like how do you guys go about that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I mean that's one of my favorite things about doing this. I know everyone that comes in here is going to enjoy some sort of drink, but I like helping people enjoy more or enhancing their experience. So, and like you said with the mezcal, we try to do it with more than just whiskey. So we did Malbia and mezcal and cheese pairing. Our Malbia rep is actually a world award-winning cheesemonger as well. So she was running both sides of things. And like, yeah, I mean, you put cheese with pretty much any booze, it's gonna be yeah. So,
everybody knows cheese.
Yeah. So that was really great. We've done some more like complete events with like full meals instead of just a couple bites. Like we did a Garrison Brothers pairing at the beginning of December. That one was really cool too. And I'm, you know, now that we're really getting some momentum under us, I'm trying to do more of that because yeah, it's interesting to teach people about brands they don't know about pairings they don't know about. And again, for me, I'm a little bit slow on the draw with some of these stuff. It takes me a while to pick up the nuance. So like doing events like that where you can taste similar but not the same products kind of side by side, I think that's the most interesting way to do it. You know, my parents don't really drink a ton at all. My mom will have the occasional glass of wine, my dad will have some Inglings. And when I was telling them about opening up this bar, they were like, why do you need so many whiskeys?
Right.
And then you do events like that, and it's like, well, yeah, you can tell the nuance between this and that, the difference between something that's 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, or this natural versus that, or this brew versus cask strength. I think it makes it more interesting, it gets more engaging, and it makes people curious to try more different stuff on top of that as well. So I think that's a lot of fun for me.
That's awesome. Well, there we go. Question 2. Cheers. Question 3. Drink 3. What are we drinking?
I figured we could use a little palate cleanser. We're going to lighten up a little bit before the next whiskey.
Excellent.
We'll do a little Boilermaker. We have a little blackberry brandy in the shot glass. We actually make that in-house.
Very nice.
And that goes back to my industry experience in Wisconsin. Wisconsin consumes 2/3 of the brandy drink in the United States.
Yeah.
None of it's cognac, none of it's the fancy stuff. But
Hormel.
it does the trick. It warms you up from the inside out on those cold winter months. And people in Wisconsin, at least from when and where I was there, they forage for three things. Every family has their spots in the woods for ramps, morels, and in the summer, blackberries.
Okay.
And if you go back longer than when I was there, before there was widely available refrigeration, the only way you could preserve fruit like that is to stuff it in alcohol, so people would just keep their fruit in brandy and mason jars for the winter. And we kind of just took it the next step, do a little in-house maceration with blackberries, the Corbel brandy, and of course a good amount of sugar.
Excellent, why not?
But we use this in one of our boiler makers in-house, and it's super tasty. And then of course, I thought that we have the perfect beer to pair it with too. Rojan Brewing from upstate in Hillsdale, New York. This is sour beer from them. They call it the Emma, the blackberry. It's a blackberry lavender sour.
All right.
I am not a huge sour beer drinker, but I don't know what it is about this one. It's just the balance. It's not too sweet. It's not too sour. It's not too perfumey. I will just sit down and knock back a whole 4-pack of Tall Boys on this one.
Excellent.
Let's see what you think.
All right.
Cheers.
Can't go wrong. Alright, so I have 3 questions for you because it comes from our mutual friend Mandy. So Mandy wants to know what cocktail that didn't include whiskey still holds up for you, or do you prefer it with whiskey?
A non-whiskey cocktail that I'm still really into. For me, okay, so I mean, there's a quick and easy answer for this one. I go the original recipe for Trinidad Sour.
Okay.
And I know that was made in New York, and it's gotten popular with a little bit of whiskey in it. But if you go back to the original recipe, it was actually, along with 1.5 ounces of Angostura bitters, it was a little bit of Smith & Cross rum, and that's how I like doing it here. Along with some orgeat and some lemon juice.
Yeah.
Just a great sour, and with those like warm spices out of the Angostura, like that's a year-round sour, and those are quaffable. So if I make them, I'm making 2 of them.
Okay, excellent. I love it. What's something that you think whiskey nerds obsess about, but really don't, like a normal drinker doesn't really care about?
Proof.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a real common occurrence with that. And to be fair, I do enjoy my higher proof whiskeys as well. You get a lot more aromatics out of them, whether it's like air soluble, water soluble. You get a lot more flavor as you kind of swirl it in the glass. But when you get to the point where you have some people that are like, oh, if it's under 100 proof, if it's not 120 proof, what are you even doing here? Like, I have some really great whiskeys that are 80 proof, 86 proof. There's good stuff all up and down the spectrum. If it's really hot out and I want to make like a highball or something, I want to refresh myself. I'm not gonna go with like my bonded whiskey. I'm gonna go something a little bit lighter, a little bit more mellow than that. So yeah, I really like my high proof whiskeys, but that is not the only way to do it.
Are you a hazmat kind of guy or not a hazmat kind of guy?
I'll dabble, and then I will dabble too much in one sitting.
Okay.
and then I will take a step back for a moment.
I'll drink hazmat, and then I'll forget that I drink hazmat. And then we'll come back and we'll drink some hazmat.
Talk to me 2 days later, I'll be back around too.
Fucking love it. And then just our last follow-up question. Again, like you said, you've only been on for 6 months, but what's next for you guys?
That is a good question. I mean, we've really started to pick up some steam now. We've gotten some good regulars. The word has gotten out there a little bit more. I'm interested in seeing just how the customer base picks up as we get a little bit farther past 6 months. I would love down the line if this works here, I'd love to be able to open up a second location somewhere else in the city. That said, I've seen so many places that fail just because you kind of spread yourself too thin too quickly. It's more important for me to see this place like succeed, but like just really crush it, get like a killer reputation, like really become a destination spot. I want to focus on that before I start thinking about, all right, well here's our Prospect Heights location, here's our Lower East Side location. Those are down the line, but like I am very conservative on the business side of things. I'd rather take my time and ensure the success of this one so this can stand on its own if and when I get to the point where I start focusing my personal like efforts on the next one or the next product or whatever.
Awesome. Well, there we go. Question 3. Cheers. Question 4, drink 4. What are we drinking?
All right, we picked up one of those hazmat bottles.
All right.
Rare character, really, really cool stuff, really hard to come by. Very, very happy to have gotten this one in. This is 13 and a half year Tennessee whiskey from Rare Character. I believe it's the hottest whiskey I've ever tried. It clocks in at 147 and a half proof or 73.5%.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah, so the first sip for me, it's like if you're ever watching a football game on TV and like they glance over the sideline and you see somebody that just came off the field with the smelling salts.
Oh yeah.
The first sip kind of just.
Yeah, wait,
Yeah, and then from there it's surprisingly very mellow. I always like to pull out the dropper of distilled water for this one. I never end up using it, but it's always good to have it.
It's there just in case.
As the training wheels, exactly.
Awesome. Well, cheers. Oh, that's damn good.
It's not bad, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I could pour down that down the drain. That's just.
Like you know that the booze is there, but it's not like it still has like an incredible depth of flavor, and with the higher alcohol, just like the viscosity on it, the mouth.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's so nice.
Like for this, I'm okay putting some water in it for my personal taste. I would never put an ice cube in it for me. Just 'cause I don't want to water it down. I don't want to soften it up too much. It's kind of what this is about. Like it's supposed to be a big, punchy.
How high this is, like it doesn't taste like it's that bit, like that's super nice. That's really fucking good. Oh, damn, that's really good. Alright, so question 4. Do you think a good whiskey bar is defined by how many bottles it has or the person behind the bar that's pouring?
Both matter to some extent, but I do think that it matters more who's working behind the bar. Because if you have 1 million bottles and the person pouring doesn't know what the hell they're talking about, because it's definitely not on the guest to know everything about everything that they're ordering. We do get a lot of people in that know. There's people that come in that know more than me about whiskeys, and they're like picking out a bottle and they're rattling off like, oh, the mash bill on this and like the oak treatment on that, and like, yeah, if you say so, I believe you. Like, most people that come in, they want to be guided, and if you have anything beyond just like your standard back bar bottles, you gotta have somebody back there that knows what they're talking about. And nobody on staff knows everything about every bottle that we have. That would be insane, unreasonable. That'd be wild.
Yeah.
That's like Rain Man whiskey.
I was gonna say that's a special level of autism that no one has. Like that's yeah.
Yeah. But it's the way that I like to do it, and for me, when I'm hiring, I care more about the person, like as like how are you just interpersonally, how are you at engaging with people. Whiskey can be taught, it can be trained. Like I knew nothing when I first got started, and clearly I know a little bit more now. I always like to tell my staff, like, what do you like about whiskey? Figure out what you like, why you like that. Pick out that whiskey and then kind of just expand from there. If you like this, you'll like that. If you like, for me, I like bourbon. I like high wheat bourbons. So if you like a nice approachable one, you start with Maker's Mark. You start with Bernheim, like wheated whiskey.
We're gonna be best friends. I love a good weeder too. So like that's
yeah. And from there, like you start with the basics. Well, if you like that, then oh yeah, you'll definitely love your Weller or your Blantons. Why do you like it? Well, yeah, the wheat makes it more sweet and stuff like that. And it's just like picking that lane. If you like peat, why do you like peat? What do you like about peat? I don't like peat, but I still respect it. So like, for me, I'll get down with a nice peated whiskey. I just need like a big fucking piece of chocolate to have.
There you go.
But yeah, like it's easy enough to train up. So like it's as long as you have money, you can buy any whiskey you want. It's harder to find somebody that can sell it.
But no, I mean, I agree with you. I think that whoever's behind the stick actually makes the bar a little bit more. Because again, whatever you're pouring, whatever, you can be a whiskey nerd or what, everything. But it's the person that's more presentable. Even again, someone's going to know more than you. A tater's going to come in and be like, "This was corn mash bill 7 with whatever and stored in Rick House, blah blah blah." During what? And you're like, "Yeah, I don't care. Like, we're going to drink it." Like, that it doesn't matter. Like but no, I think that somebody behind the bar that is personable is definitely a better situation.
Yeah, and again, like that usually takes a long time to kind of iron down. I'm very, very lucky with like the staff that I started with and the staff that we've been able to like build to this point. We're 6 months in and I'm still working a lot, but like when we opened, I was here 110 hours a week, which is just not healthy.
Yeah, no,
but now, like, yeah, I trust my staff. I trust them to do everything they need to, but also to have that level of service and hospitality that I would expect. So I can go home at 10 instead of at 2 every day.
Right.
I know that the bar's in good hands and stuff like that. So that's important for the bar. It's also important for my sanity.
And also, you said you were just recently married too.
Yeah.
So like, your wife is probably not happy that like you're coming home every night at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's for work, but like still, it's just like
she is very supportive and very forgiving of this. She's not industry. She's very, very good at dealing with the schedule for sure. I definitely lucked out there as well.
Well, awesome. Well, congratulations on marriage.
Yeah, we're just doing it all this year.
What's harder, curating the back bar or curating the vibe of your bar?
Ooh, that's tough. Honestly, the back bar takes more time. Honestly, I started curating my whiskey list like a year before we opened. I picked brands that I knew that I wanted. I picked distributors that I knew I wanted to work with. I picked specific bottles that I knew I would want to have. I picked bottles that I knew I wouldn't be able to get right away, but you get whenever they become available. It takes time, but I've been doing this long enough and I know well enough that like, yeah, I can do that. The vibe, I know the vibe that I want for a bar like this. I know that my vibe is not bad, but it's not going to be for everyone. So I lean on my staff, I lean on my regulars, I lean on my wife to kind of help me set the mood, to help keep it fresh. For me, honestly, one of the biggest things is the music, and like it's one of those things that if it's done well, you don't really think about it too hard. But if it's done poorly, or if you're ever at like a corporate restaurant and they're just playing like top 40s hits on repeat, that's really noticeable, and that kind of ruins it. For me, if I'm picking it, I'm playing like 60s Motown or like classic rock all day, every day. And I enjoy that. And we do play it a good amount, but I also, if I have staff working here, like, hey, you pick the music, keep it fresh, so we're not just listening to the same dozen songs over and over again. And same with like the lighting or just the atmosphere of the place. We put up decorations for Halloween, we put up decorations for Christmas. It's a combination of not specifically having the time to focus as much as I should on those, plus me that's just not my wheelhouse. I'm good at getting people buzzed in a very fun and informative way. That segment is not as much what I'm good at, so I definitely lean on my staff, and my wife helps out with that a lot. I think we do a good job at it. It doesn't take up as much time as like curating the list, but it's definitely not as intuitive for me.
Sure. Well, no, and because and the reason why that question, it's like one of my favorite questions, because like people talk about if you build it, they will come. But then also people talk about it's the neighborhood, and the neighborhood dictates if you survive or not.
Yeah.
Because like people will come, but they might only come once and then fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, but it's the neighborhood that's going to decide if you are here for 15 years. Like that's going to be the thing. So like that's.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I actually do use the line, if you build it, they will come, but I think that does go hand in hand with building it for the neighborhood. There's been a lot of concepts in this space in the last few years. I think it works great around here, and we have been really well received so far.
That's awesome. And it's gorgeous, by the way. It is just
No,
it's a beautiful bar.
thank you. No, I'm very happy with how it turned out, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it did take, I think I was looking at spaces for about 6 months or so before we found this one. But I think we really looked into it. The neighborhood has picked up, they've kind of taken it on very nicely. Because, the weekends people will come from everywhere for a drink, but like Sunday through Thursday, like that neighborhood crowd is your bread and butter. And it's the atmosphere, it's the whiskey selection, obviously. It's the cocktails, we have a nice kitchen as well.
Yeah.
It's all kind of come together just to make this all possible.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. There we go. Question 4.
Nice.
Cheers. Question 5, drink 5, last drink of the night. What are we thinking?
I thought we'd end with a nice little digestif, a little dessert drink. I don't know what I did right or wrong, but my reps from Wildman have blessed me with literally all of the chartreuse I could dream of.
Fuck yeah.
I feel like this is the one that kind of gets slept on. Of course, you have your standard issue green and yellow label. You have your VEP, the higher age one. This is the one kind of in between where there's a green and yellow version of it. This one doesn't get as much shine. The green one, called the 1605, was originally developed as I believe, an elixir of immortality.
Okay.
And this is kind of a similar build to that one, similar botanicals. I think it has saffron and it has honey in it, which makes it, I mean, the honey doesn't make it yellow, but like it's a slightly different build on it, and this is the one that not as many people are familiar with. I have been getting more and more into the yellow as opposed to the green. Not that I don't enjoy that one as much, but this one it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit richer. This has become an after work. If it's ever been a really long day, I'll relax with a nice. This is my shower beer. You know? If I'm feeling fancy.
I love it.
It's refined these days, apparently.
Fancy. We've been drinking chartreuse in the shower. That is fucking delicious.
Slightly higher alcohol than the standard yellow, but like it's smooth, it's rich, it's sweet, but not too sweet.
Can't go wrong with that.
I think that's a good one.
That's a great. I mean, all of them have been fucking amazing. But all right, so question 5 comes down to flip of the whiskey, wins the coin. You can flip it, you can spin it, you can do whatever you want. The coin will give us the answer. You don't have to answer unless you feel so inclined to answer.
Gotcha.
So, question 5. Can a great bartender change someone's palate?
Yeah. I think so.
You think so?
Sorry, I feel like I'm fucking this.
No, you're doing good. I mean, you answer, you say yes. Let's see what the coin has to say.
Yeah. Let's see what the coin says.
That says fuck no.
Ouch. Denied.
Denied.
Nah, fuck. Yeah, no.
You disagree. Maybe you got a busted coin. So like that's the.
I got a bad coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's tough. It's not our job to correct people. But like if somebody's interested, like if somebody comes in and says, "Oh, I don't like X, Y, or Z, but I want to try to find something that works," that's when it's acceptable.
Sure.
I'm not gonna there's some bartenders or some bar owners like, if you don't like this, you can go fuck yourself. Like, no, I don't think that. But like if somebody's interested in expanding their horizons, then yeah, we can help them find the thing to do that. Even with, I don't like whiskey, what should I try? Like, yeah, let me pour you this this maple whiskey that we have. It's nice and sweet to lead into it, or the Akashi Ume, a nice little softer, slightly sweet plum whiskey. It has a little bit of fruit to kind of ease you into it a little bit. we might not be able to individually change the palate, but we can nudge it in a direction.
Well, again, I disagree with the point. I say yes, because I've been turned on by many bartenders on something that I thought I would hate. Even today, I thought, again, not a big beer guy, but that sour beer, that was pretty damn good with the in-house Randy. It was really fucking good. But, well, there we go. That is 5 drinks down, 5 questions answered. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for having us at Foolproof. Can't wait until we drink together again.
Hell yeah.
So cheers to you.